May I now request the guest of honor, and the Institute would love to address him as Doctor from now on. I request the guest of honor, Dr. Rakesh Bakshi, to deliver his address.
Thank you very much, Chief Guest, Dr. Saraswat ji, Chairman, Board of Governors, Shri Khata ji, Dr. Satish Kumar ji, Director of the Institute. I am touched. I am very deeply touched because this recognition comes to me from the very institution from where you are graduating today, or where you are receiving your degrees today, and where I received mine also in the year 1980. I am nostalgic. I have already slipped back 41 years and 10 months in engineering precision to the time when I entered what was the regional engineering Kurukshetra, and my parents had come to leave me here, dreaming that their son would one day be an engineer. My father, who was a great visionary and industry leader, he taught me one thing. He said, believe in yourself and live your dream. Today I share the same message with all of you who are graduated. Believe in yourselves. This is a milestone in your journey, but your life is still to be lived. Live it to the best that you can. Whatever you dream, it is not wrong to dream. And I remember when we used to sit in the lecture halls, I don't know whether it was the hostel Bhishma, where we spent 3 years. In our time, it took 5 years to be an engineer, and we would come after senior Cambridge or higher secondary. In your case, it's 4 years, and then we moved, I think, to what is called the Eklavya. And finally, in 1980, which is about 37 years ago, moved out of the college. But in 11 years, I was back in this institution as a chief guest. And for me, it was a moment, once again, that brought back the reality that it is this very temple, it is this very institution from where I changed from a boy into a young man, from where I dreamt what I want to do and where do I want to go. The world was mine. I was born in London. I could have gone anywhere in the world. But no, I thought my place is in India. I thought my place is into entering a sector that was not trod upon before. उन दिनों में लोग कहते थे आप हवा में बात कर रहे हो, आज कहते हैं आप हवा की बात कर रहे हो. फर्क इतना ही है, ज़्यादा नहीं है. लेकिन it is in our scriptures that we are taught to worship the sun god and we worship Pavan Putra Hanuman. The fact is that it is embedded in our 6,000 years old culture, which is in our genes, that we respect nature, we work with nature, and we don't work against nature. Today, the installed capacity in India is around 310,000 megawatts. 50,000 megawatts of this installed capacity is based on one technology called renewable energy. It has not been an easy journey. It has not been that people have not doubted. The very fact that we walked upon a path, and there's a very famous Urdu couplet which translated in English means, I started to walk the path alone, people joined me, and soon it was a caravan. Today when I see 50,000 megawatts, the journey is not over. The journey is, as has been highlighted by our Honorable Prime Minister in his visionary statement for renewable energy, 200 gigawatts by the year 2022 is what our target is, and believe me, we will achieve it. We will achieve it because we believe in it. We believe in the greatness of our nation. We believe in India, and each one of you owes it to your nation to live your dream and to contribute in the great exercise of nation building. Here we are only a few years away from being a developed nation. Already we are developed in so many aspects, in so many areas, that we are second to none. You heard of the achievements, as was mentioned by the director, as was mentioned by the chairman BOD. You heard of the achievements of ISRO. You heard of achievements in missile technologies. You've heard of achievements in energy self-sufficiency and energy security. Renewable energy helps us in energy self-sufficiency. Renewable energy helps us in energy security. We have a challenge in front of us, and that is, how do we move from a fossil fuel-based economy to a renewable energy-based economy? I have had umpteen discussions at various platforms all over the world where people have said, you know, renewables is nice, fashionable, but kya chalta hai? Kuch karta bhi hai. And then we have to answer, sir, 50,000 megawatts is not a small figure. Yes, when we started, at that time, Government of India, which had a commission for additional sources of energy, upgraded to a Department of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, upgraded to a Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, and today, under the Ministry of Power, a full-fledged Ministry of Renewable Energy. This has not been an easy journey. This has been a journey where one's belief has again and again been tested. I am a strong believer in our mythological story that if you have to break a stone, don't hit it 18 times and in frustration leave it and go away. No, hit it 21 times and perhaps you will break it. But don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your vision. Whatever you have learnt in this engineering college will hold good to you in academic terms. But you are entering now into the real world. And in the real world, it is your belief in yourself that makes you a winner. You are a winner first in your own mind. Don't worry about the failures. I have had many of them on my agenda. But each failure is rightly a stepping stone to success. Never ever think that you are second to anybody. You are the finest of the finest. I have been a visiting professor to IIT Delhi, not for 1 term but 3 terms. And I always tell them, you know, my background is the Regional Engineering College, Kurukshetra, but if you want to listen to me, I'm here to talk to you. That is the spirit with which you have to achieve your goals. That is the spirit with which, whether you become an entrepreneur, whether you become a professional in a certain industry, or whether you inherit your own family businesses, whatever you do, belief in your own abilities and capabilities is the only way of success. Had that belief not been there, all of you sitting here in these gowns, brightly colored, would not be receiving your degrees had you not believed in your own self. The professors, and my utmost respect to the teaching faculty and the academia, they are our guides. But ultimately, it is each one of you that is the achiever. They are the ones who nurture the talent. They are the ones who bring you into maturity. But you are the ones who deliver. And today you should be proud of yourselves, proud of your achievements, proud that you bring to your family glory and you belong to an elite class called engineers. I think, for me, I am one of you. I feel I should be sitting on that side. I don't know what I'm doing on the dais here. But having said that, we entered engineering college in the year 1975. We still were using logarithmic tables, Aristo's slide rules, and the first scientific calculator, which had sine, cos, and tan, was our proud possession, I think, towards the end of the first year. Forget mobile phones, we didn't even know. We had one phone in the hostel from where we used to try and reach our near and dear ones. But there was no other communication. Of course, you had those big telex machines, which were the talk of that time. But where was technology then? And in this year of 2017, where is technology? Your whole world you carry on a mobile phone. You are entering an India, a nation that is rated as one of the fastest growing economies on the planet, with one of the largest aspirational societies who want everything. You are the ones who are entering an India which is like an aircraft that has reached the end of the runway. The taxing period is over. This aircraft is taking off. Whether we accept or we don't, the fact is India is destined to be one of the greatest nations of the world, and we contribute to the globe. We contribute in each and every field. It's not just in technology, our Sanskriti, our way of life. It's not just our yoga teachings. It's a spectrum that we have. And even in the renewable energy sector, we are proud that not only we make in India, but we export from India. I have wind turbines going into the United States, going into Europe from an Indian company based out of Chennai. We are exporting around the world. It's not just make in India, it's make in India and export from India. Today we have numerous opportunities. Skill India, Swachh Bharat, Swachh Urja, Digital India. All these are only moving in one direction, and that is to give India its rightful place amongst the comity of nations, to bring India into the forefront. The IT technology, today Indians have contributed across the planet in IT. My motto is from IT to ET, from information technology to environment technology. India is emerging as a global leader in environmental technologies. The fact that we have 16% of our installed power coming from renewable energy, and by 2022, 30% will come from renewable energy, is a testimony to all those people who have contributed in building this sector. I was thinking on my way while driving into the institute in the morning about something that I had picked up a few days ago, a definition of an entrepreneur. Satishji, they say a person who jumps over a cliff and builds the aircraft on the way down. That is an entrepreneur. Did you get me? You jump over the cliff, but you build the aircraft on the way down. That means you burnt your bridges behind you. There's no going back. The only going back is success based on what you achieve and based on what you build. This is something that each one of you has to carry back in your mind. The director called on me a few days ago with very senior faculty members. And of course, when they had asked me to come here as a guest of honor, I said, I will drop every other program, but I will make it a point to be with you here. The director spoke about a school of renewable energy that NIT is promoting. I have assured him in a public-private partnership mode to bring this school as a global school for renewable energy. I have already told him that our company's commitment towards helping them in a collaborative approach in R&D towards commercialization of these technologies. We are 100% with you on that, sir. On the other side, we have already initiated dialogues, as I had mentioned to you earlier today, with Germany, with South Korea, with Greece, and we are going to expand this to a number of countries so that NIT can claim to have a school of renewable energy that is globally connected, internationally recognized, and that has world-class laboratories. That is my commitment to you, sir, to the Chairman BOD, and Saraswat Saab will be leading on your assistance and guidance. But NIT has to emerge as a global leader in an area that is extremely crucial to India's growth. Was once being asked about these offshore wind platforms, and a very senior person said, Rakesh, what is this that you talk about offshore? And he was representing ONGC at its helm. I said, sir, when you run out of oil, I'll bring my windmills over there. So that is the spirit. I mean, even at this period of time, when I'm feeling prehistoric in front of many of you who perhaps would have been just about getting ready to arrive in this world while we were getting ready to go out of this engineering college, the spirit should never go away. The spirit to contribute, the spirit to create, the spirit to be a part of this growth story of this great nation. We find a lot of our colleagues are now looking at avenues to come back to India. A lot of my batch is sitting overseas, and a lot of them are now looking at opportunities how to come here and how to build again out here. As I mentioned to you, you are the chosen ones, you are the blessed ones, and you are the future of our nation. You carry upon your shoulders a very, very heavy responsibility. I'm not using the word burden. A responsibility. A responsibility, as mentioned earlier, not just to give back to society, and not just to ask, as was said by a famous leader, what can your nation do for you? Ask what you can do for your nation. You have the capability, You are born in an era of technology which is advancing so fast. And you owe it. You owe it to your families, you owe it to your own self, and you owe it to this great nation of ours called India. I'm a strong believer in the adage that we do not inherit this world from our forefathers, but we steal it from our children. And that is why my commitment is very passionate about renewable energy. There are enough family businesses where I could have sat and done nothing, but that's not my calling. My calling was to put India on the global map of renewable energy. And my story is not yet over. I was, some years ago, asked, would you accept a Lifetime Achievement Award? I said, call it half a lifetime and I'll take it. Don't call it a lifetime. Because I still have many miles to go before I sleep. And my solemn, humble advice to you is the same. You have come out of a great institution. I'm sure you had great times going to Paris, Rudra, and whatever, whether those cinema halls still exist or not. I'm sure those night canteens in the prep time that you get for your papers must have been very interesting, because more than studying for the exam, we used to get together at 2 in the morning and have colleagues ordering a 24-egg omelette and things like that. That will be memories you will cherish. That will be memories that will be very precious to you. And the one thing that nobody can take away from you in your life is your degree. This degree that you take away is a testimony of your individual hard work, your commitment, and your achievement. This is nobody else but you and you alone. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. And may you be a part of this great nation of ours called India. Thank you.